I think for me, it's the remembering back to feeling like a little kid that first time that I felt like I could get close to a horse and not, have issues with it, and just trust that my kids were constantly being loved on and prayed over, no matter if we were actually at the property or not.
My name's Julian, and I'm 15, and I came when I was 6, 7, and 8. So throughout 2015 to 2018.
My name's Paige, I'm 15, and I started when I was 7 or 8. I remember meeting the horses, and then I met Sky, the horse, and that was just my favorite horse. I just remember always wanting to see that horse and not the other horses.
I just remember meeting them and then learning how to get up on the saddle and then ride it. It was pretty much just, I get to go see horses, it's gonna be fun.
I'm Lindsay, and I have 2 wonderful kids that led us here. And we started coming back in 2015. My 2 kids are now 15, which is crazy, but family, friends, and actually one of my mother's best friends happens to be grandmother in this situation, is how we found you guys. But, we adopted both of our kids, and they were in a place that they really needed just some love.
So when I first started coming, my parents were doing the legal stuff that they had to do to get me adopted, and they just brought me here to come see horses and stuff because I really liked horses at that age. So
I got into foster care when I was like 4, and then I left that family like a month before I was gonna get adopted there, and became in foster care in the family I'm in now for like a couple months, and that's when we started going to the ranch and seeing the horses.
I personally had just lost my child and my grandmother within the same couple weeks of each other. And God really redeemed a lot within those 2 years of just feeling down and out and low. And that's what led us to the adoption of my 2 wonderful human beings. Julian moved in with us first. He was 6.5 when he moved in, and I was a teacher in his school. So I knew just from observation what I had seen, that he liked to act out and draw negative attention. That's normal for a kid that has been through what he had been through. Julian has endured 5 foster families, and as a mom, knowing that going into it, that he was going to be with us full time, always, for life, I just wanted to pour whatever I could into him at first, and just to know that there was an option there for him that was outside of something that I could provide in the city was huge for him. And there's something, I think, that's like little child instilled inside when you put a huge animal with it, like a horse. And so I just felt that from the first time that he was around animals, and so that was cool, that was him. And I think, through all of it, we did only have a chance to come 3 times, but the lasting effects that happen when you talk about the emotionality that goes into it with bonding with an animal, that was really cool for him. But for Paige was very shut off and very emotionally detached from us when she moved in. And, I think Jason, my husband, was able to come to the first 2 times with us, and he even had mentioned just how much she lit up around Sky specifically. So I just think it's really cool how you fall in love with an animal and that never changes, and especially when you have that emotional connection and the prayer that goes around it too.
My name is Amy Eben. I'm a co-founder of 8th Mountain Ranch that started in 2015, and our family has known a lot of struggle and have overcome a lot of things, and this ministry and what we do is birthed out of that. And it is a pure joy to partner with other families so that they too can experience the overcoming power of God in their stories, and that it have a generational impact. I was partnered with Paige on her first time at the ranch, and when we bring the kids out, we put them in the herd environment and we allow the horse to actually select the child. And so because of Paige's experience up to the point that she came to the ranch, abandonment was a strong theme in her story, as it is with Sky. And so it was no surprise to me that Sky connected with her immediately, just intuitively knowing that she needed unconditional love and a steady presence. And so we had our session together, and at the end, Mom came and invited Paige to pray and thank God for this opportunity to be with horses, because it had been a desire, apparently a persistent request, to get to come spend time with horses, and she had finally gotten to have this opportunity. And so Mom encouraged her, but gave her the choice if she would like to pray silently or pray out loud. And being wise, she chose to pray silently. So Sky was eating and just having what we call non-demand time with us. He was very present to his meal, and she was petting him underneath his mane. And she stopped petting, and she bowed her head like she'd been taught to do, and she closed her eyes, and in a moment of childlike faith, she connected her spirit with her Creator and thanked him for the gift of the horse. But she didn't use words. I know she did this because Sky stopped eating, his head came up, he wrapped himself around her, and he held her between his head and his neck. And he was so focused, and with the horse, we know where they're looking by where their ear is, and his ear was locked onto her. Just in this, it was a quick moment, but it changed everything. And she said, "Amen." And she blinked and opened her eyes, and Sky's head popped up, and he blinked, and then he went back to eating. And Mom and I looked at each other, and we were like, what was that? And I had no idea what had just taken place, but Sky was able to be a physical presence of the unconditional love of a father that Paige had not known yet, had not seen, but just through the representation of God's nature in his created beings, she was able to connect with an unseen God, and that started a journey and a progression of her heart healing and being open to his love and to the love of Jason and Lindsay. And she's changed for that, and we celebrate what God did in just a moment.
There's just something unsaid and there's no way to explain just how impactful this ranch has been over the years. I wish more people would be open to maybe exploring it and seeing, how beneficial it can be, especially with trauma-based and grief-based and, just those feelings that you try to help function through with a child and an adult, all of it. But I think horses are magnificent beings, and they've always been magnificent to me. And so just thank you guys for everything that you do to love on people and to make lasting impressions.
It's a really cool program, and it helped my parents a lot, which also correlated to me as well growing up. 8th Mountain Ranch helped my parents and us, so the whole family, grow up and follow God.
Now I go to youth group and everything, and I have a good group of friends, and we're all Christian, and we go to we do Bible, or this summer we're doing Bible studies every week and everything. If you're thinking about coming to 8th Mountain Ranch, it's a really cool way to learn. You get to do new experiences. That's where I learned. That's when I started helping everyone. I wanted to help everyone out and be with the horses, and that's when I got closer and everything with them and had the connection with Sky.
What you've heard with Lindsay and Jason and their heroic response to bringing in these two beautiful children, making a home, but even more importantly, making a family together, is one of our greatest joys, that we were able to partner with them right at their conception as a family of 4, and to breathe life on that new beginning. And they have tremendous testimony. And it's so wonderful that here they are at age 15, thriving in their destiny, thriving in their design, knowing their creator, and being knit together as a family. I think the greatest privilege of doing what we do at 8th Mountains Ranch is watching somebody come in one way and leave another. And we see it with our herd, and we see it with our participants, and we see it with our families. And so we celebrate that we have gotten to participate in that journey, and that we can bear witness to the fruitfulness of what God has done in their lives.